Yeah, what's up, guys? This is going to be your updated Brittain dungeon guide. So, Brittain, for those of you guys that are new players, not a hard dungeon. It's between him and Tayo on which one's the easiest SSR. Not necessarily because the Tayo dungeon is easy, but you just need certain characters to make it easy. So, your party info, you got Nyx, you got Leafa, you got Janice. They added Janice, that's funny. They're trying to make Janice useful. Skill cooldowns by 2 turns if Janice is in the party. That's funny. And of course they nerf Christian, because fuck you guys that worked hard to get Christian, so. You don't need Christian in here though, don't worry about it. Unless, you know, he happens to be your only holy DPS, but you don't really necessarily need a holy DPS. So if you got these heroes, great. Only one I have is Leafa. And to be perfectly honest, I don't really need Leafa. But that's there for you. If you got Nyx, I recommend running her just for the, you know, the 200% extra damage. But anyways, let's get into this here. I'll show you what team I run. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to run. Well, let me just swap. This was my fail Lily team. So, heroes you're going to want to run. You are going to need Rue if you have her. And Sid, or anyone like that that can do fairly solid debuff cleansing, etc. So for me, what I'm gonna do, because I don't have too many hard-hitting dark heroes, I'm going to choose to elect... trying to think who I want as leader. Yeah, probably Tayo. Yeah, okay. So we'll get Tayo's later. Reason Tayo's later, water light, counterattack, always a good thing. Now, usually what I do with my teams, I put the supports right next to the DPS. I never put the DPS in a cone unless it makes sense, which is very rare in this game. So, you know, get your whatever hero. Put your tank on the 4, most likely, unless if you're gonna run a DPS of your own, just take whoever you want. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and take Morgan. People who crit in this dungeon actually pretty good. That's part of the reason Tayo's going. Then take Sid. Take Eamon. So, and keep in mind, guys, this is a guide for newer players. I know there's one that's just like, I'm going to take all those super high. That's cool. You know, do whatever you want. But in this case, I'm going to take this team. And then we're going to get going here. I'm also going to make a guide for people that have been playing the game longer. Marshmallow. So. Alright, so this first pack. Things to know about this first pack if you're a new player. Number 1. Billy's got decreased damage taken from elements other than disadvantage. So if you're newer, you're going to need fire in here. So bring like a Morgan or a Cynthia or whoever you got that hits hard with fire. He doesn't have a ton of health, so you don't have to worry about that. The guy on the left, he's just taking a single target damage decrease in general. So if you got like a cone attacker or whatever is going on, that's fine for him. But he's not a big deal either. The problem is the dude in the middle. My man's greatly increased defense, so he's going to be a bit of a tank. But if you have the bleed effect, which is the reason I brought Morgan... it'll get rid of that, and you're going to be seeing this dude as well in Phase 3, so you're going to have to plan for that. So if you got a... apparently I don't have the volume up. Let me turn it up. And then this guy in the middle too, he also summons enemies, so that's one of the other reasons you're going to want to, you know, kill him ASAP. So try to get a bleed effect off. You know, unfortunately, I went off on his friend. Now, your bleed effect heroes in the game. Morgan, clearly. Otherwise, most hybrids can get bleed effects, like Callie has it. But if you're a newer player, you're probably not going to have Callie. So as you see, even after all this time, he still has the... damage up buff because my bleeds aren't proccing, but I got so much damage it doesn't really matter. So now on your Phase 2, you get to see Mr. Croaker here, legendary pirate. This guy's actually fairly tough, man, if you're newer to the game. The issue with him is, yeah, poses a greater threat to shock targets. Basically, if you are shocked, he does bonus damage to you, and I believe he may also multi you. It was something to that, because he's been in a couple different dungeon incarnations, because he's in Guild Dungeon. I forget, I seen him somewhere else, I just forget where it was. But so, your tank, keep him taunted as much as you can. Now, luckily, he's not going to summon anything. So... oh man, I wanted to show you guys. Damn it. I wanted to show you guys what he does when he's low. Well, okay, let me pause it here. I'll explain his phase to you guys. When you get him low as a newer player, he has a AoE electric attack that can stun. And he also has like a tail swipe or something like that that can stun. And he's going to be stacking shock debuffs on everybody, so you're going to want to cleanse those as much as possible, but they stack. So even someone like Rue, she can only get rid of one stack at a time with her passive, unless you use her 2 to make him... they'll never be immune because it's a dot, and that's an abnormal status immunity. But, you know, just do your best to keep people alive. You know, run characters with shields if you can, run characters with evasion, or as much mitigation tactics as possible, and save all your ultis. He starts to do that right around, I think it's 30% health, so in like the 30,000 range. So save your ultis for that, and then just burst through it ASAP as quickly as possible. And that's pretty much how that phase works. So, now this phase, when you get to Brittain, there's 2 things about Brittain you need to know, like, instantly. Number 1, my man gets buffed here if there are no pirates with him. So you always want to have his attack and defense get buffed. You always want to try to keep at least 1 pirate alive. He's going to be summoning adds throughout the encounter. But, at the same time, if he gets a bunch of pirates up, increases his defense and casts skills continuously when there are 5 pirates. When it says skills continuously, it means his ult. He will do his multi-strike ult, and most likely he's going to have the debuff up where you take 50% additional damage from multi-strike attacks. And it's just really bad. And then he gets his Black Bullet. Black Bullet is a self-stacking buff for him that increases his crit chance. And every time he's killing somebody, he's getting these Black Bullets. He expends them, I believe. It's either on his 1 or every time he crits. But with his 2 is his self-buff multi-strike, and I believe he debuffs you for multi-strike damage. He gets like 2 or 3 Black Bullets, and I think he can have a max of 3. So be aware of that. He's going to be critting a lot the longer he's up. And he is going to be multi-ing a lot, because he's going to multi-buff the entire team. So, once again, you want 1 pirate, you don't want 0 pirates, you don't want 4 pirates. You must always be thinking about clearing out pirates. And keep in mind there are varying elements to all the pirates. Brittain himself is holy. This pirate right here is wind. There will be like a fire pirate. I think there's like a water pirate. So what you want to do at first, you know, start getting some damage on Brittain real quick. And then I'm going to try to go slower here, because I can wreck him pretty fast if I want. So I want to show you guys all the phases he has. So specifically, cone attacks are pretty good on this boss as well, because you see, that guy takes extra damage from fire. My Rue doesn't have a ton of attack, so even at her level. And that still did that much damage to him just because he takes increased elemental damage. So I'm not going to attack with Tayo. Hopefully he won't counter. So right there, he just summoned 3 pirates. So your number 1 goal needs to be, I need to fucking kill these pirates before his turn, or else he's just going to start multiing. And keep in mind too, this guy from the first phase can also summon. So you're going to need to get a bleed effect on him ASAP if you're having trouble, you know, slower DPS clearing things. And you just need to figure out, okay, this guy over here is fire, but he takes decreased damage from single target attacks. This guy has greater defense until He's dark, has greater defense until he gets a bleed effect. And then these two guys are wind, but they take more damage from fire. So essentially you're going to want Rue to cone attack this middle guy over here. If you have like a holy damager, you're going to want him, or anyone that bleeds, you're going to want him to attack this guy. And that's part of the reason why they nerf Christian, guys, is because Christian, not only does he have ridiculous damage, he has cone effects, and he has lots of self buffs and a passive heal that's pretty good for this fight. And then if you have a water hero such as a Tayo, you want to be, even though he's taking single target damage, you want to be cone attacking right around here. And to the point of you don't want multiple pirates up at once. That's your main objective here. So even if I got a taunt off with Aemon, doesn't matter, because from now on until at least one of these pirates dies, Brittain's attacks are all going to be AoE, and they're all going to hurt, etc. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to actually go on this guy, because I think I have a decent chance of killing him faster. But, as I say that, you know, it looks like we can at least get one of these guys over here with a Morrigan, so do that. Prevents him from taking his other turn, but he just summoned another pirate, so... And that's the management game you're going to have to play. For a little bit here. So that was his AoE ult. Now when he does his AoE ult, he puts up a bomb debuff. It's right here, damage over time. So that'll go off. It's not too bad, but it's still extra damage, and you don't need extra damage. You see Bleed got out here too. So, and also they do attack down debuffs. So once again, you're just going to have to focus the pirates. Now, I'm going to go ahead, like I said before, cone attack over here with Rue. Rue's really good to have because she's going to be dispelling like stuns and stuff in phase 2. And so I'm going to go ahead with Tayo here, do a cone attack. And once again, I got screwed there because that guy summoned someone with his counter. And so Brittain got his AoE ult off, so be aware of that. Even with counters, this guy can summon. So it's in your best interest when you see this guy to get him down ASAP as well. And you see, even though I outgear this encounter, you know, they're still doing pretty damn good deep damage to me. So... And then I'll show you what happens as we get Brittain lower here. DPS him a little bit more. That was a bomb effect. It did 2,000 of Tayo's health. Tayo has like, you know, 14k or whatever health, so not a big deal for him, but that's about the percentage of damage it's going to do. So once again, you know, just get as much damage as you can off on Brittain while keeping the pirates dead at the same time. Because you don't want to get into a DPS race with this guy as a... So here's what happens. You take down all the pirates. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Let's pass. So it says, he says it's time to set sail. That basically means his ulti's coming. So I'll show you guys. Bam! He gets ulti. See how hard that hit? Even with my team. So you do not want to have him get that turn off if you can help it. And you do not want to reduce him. I believe it's right around 30 to 20% of his health. So right around that like 30k-ish mark, a little bit more, 40k-ish mark. He's going to ulti next turn no matter what. Even if he doesn't have all these up. But it's even worse if he has 4 pirates up or no pirates up because he buffs his attack. So be aware of that. Now, that's pretty much it for this fight, so I'll go ahead, wreck him, and that's it. And definitely farm this hero up, guys, because his AoE damage is some of the craziest I've ever seen, quite honestly. Nice, we got a double drop. And I'm very excited to build this hero, actually. Now, the issue with Brittain is he's slow. He's very slow. So if you're thinking you're going to take him into PvP and be like, oh, well, you better have some attack speed runes, or else he's not going to get his turn off unless you can protect him. Because he's pretty much guaranteed to take his turn last. But otherwise, pretty solid, you know. We got the event going on right now for the extra rolls where you can get, I believe it's... let me go look at that real quick. Let me show you the damage. You see Brittain putting out some respectable damage right there. And then... that's the total health you can expect for the 3 bosses right here. And, you know, so it's kind of a shame that they got Christian banned in here, but, I mean, it's still doable. It's not like we're having a Lily issue again. It's like, you need some combination of these heroes or you're screwed. I don't know why this is taking so long to load. But I hope that guide helps you out, guys. I have a previous guide up. Brittain was the very first 4-star dungeon I ever did, because that was long before the days of Tayo Dungeon. Well, long before. I think it was like a couple weeks before where we multied it. And... what the heck's going on with the loading? Well, I guess maybe I'm not going to get to show you guys that thing after all. But anyways, there's an event going on. It's much like the Haspile event where you collect so many pumpkins and you exchange them for rolls and you have a shot at like characters, character pieces, upgrade materials, etc. So, alright guys, so I guess this is going to have to be it for the video. So once again, hopefully this guide, if you have any questions, you know, if you have like certain heroes and you want to know which one to build up for, you're a newer player to the game, let me know in the comments or come in the Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the title notes. I'll be happy to help you out. So I'll be streaming KC later on tonight too, so have some fun with that. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.